private land, so it's by invitation only. So this is kind of special for us to be here today. This little sign, maybe some of you are familiar with this triangle sign. It says, nature preserve is protected by law. So what's really unique in Illinois is that private landowners, any landowners that have land that qualifies for protection in the nature preserve system, can voluntarily enroll their land in that system, but it's forever. So it's protected by law. We call it the highest level of legal protection of any land in the state. It can't be condemned without going all the way to the top of state government, which is the governor's office, and public hearings and things like that. So it's never happened. So we are in a special place. It's protected forever, and we're building on it. So that's something that I am excited to talk to you about today. The other thing I wanted to mention before we got started is Boone-Dutch Creek Watershed Alliance. Your organization started with the BCWA, Boone Creek Watershed Alliance. I'm going to pass this around. That group formed, I think, like in 2001, something like that. Yeah. Dennis was part of that. I was part of that. And now it's morphed into 2 watersheds, which is great. So we're kind of coming full circle with the group that started that, with what's happening down in the valley, or what you're going to see. Real quick, we've got 7 private nature preserves, which makes up Boone Creek Fen. They're private, but the DNR bought 150 acres, which brought them all together. It was like a puzzle with parts that weren't necessarily touching, but the 150 acres by DNR just right in the middle brought them all together. And that was a dream of the members of BCWA back in the early a total pipe dream. I never thought it would happen in my lifetime, and it did. So we're going to go see that today. When the Wisconsin ice sheet was receding, it left behind this big moraine, and the valley behind us, Boone Creek Valley, that was at one time the ancient Fox River. So when the glacier was closer, the water was flowing, a lot of water was flowing through this system. As the ice sheet receded towards Lake Michigan, it abandoned this valley. So now we have this little creek that meanders through. That little creek could not create this valley, no way. So anybody familiar with the Wonder Lake system and the Boone Creek Valley? Geologically, they're connected. They were formed at the same time, but they're separated by a subtle divide in the valley. So the Nippersink carries water to the north through Wonder Lake. Yeah. Boone Creek carries water towards the Fox River through here. So this is okay. The other part of this, it's a groundwater dependent system. And we're going to see evidence of that all over the place today. Sand and gravel deposits on the moraine in the upland. It's very porous soils, so water infiltrates very readily. It rained like crazy yesterday. Yeah, we can walk through this area. You're not going to see any ponding. That water is already infiltrated into the soil. Underneath us, 20 feet or so is a clay layer, and that's a water table for perch aquifers. We're going to see one as we go down this farm lane. So there's 2 aquifers that feed the valley here. One is perch, it's like halfway up the slope, and the other is all the way at the valley floor. It's groundwater to flow horizontally, and it expresses itself as seeps, like we see right here. You can see that this looks like maybe the topography is like a shelf. Groundwater is coming out at the toe of the slope right there. And this is where we find our seeps. So there's lots of skunk cabbage up here. If we were to walk into that, it would be very soft and soupy. It's organic soil. There's a bunch of weed canary grass. You can see it. That's one of our management problems here. But this is a seep, and they're very common along the escarpment of this morainal system that we're we're looking at today. We mapped over 30 of them, and I think that's the highest concentration of seeps anywhere in the county. And we probably missed some. So this is what one of them looks like. Look for skunk cabbage. You can see it over here. We're not going to go into that. It's too soupy. There's no need to. The other thing about these seeps is there's so much groundwater coming out of them continuously that they form spring runs. And we'll see spring runs as we go down on the valley floor. So we have this perched aquifer. It's called A1. It's the shallowest aquifer in the county. It's the most sensitive to degradation or impacts because it's so shallow. The A2 aquifer is the one below the valley floor. And so both of these groundwater systems are feeding the sedge meadows and the fang, the wetlands in general down on the valley floor. The communities here changed dramatically, as you can see. These trees that you're looking at here, a lot of those are cottonwood and walnut. I consider those to be recent arrivals. They're kind of invasive in this environment. We'll talk more about that when we go and look at this big bur oak tree off in the distance, the one with the big spreading crown. That's a witness tree, and we'll go check that out. It's like a little bonsai tree.
It really is. It's so beautiful.
It's short. It's got this huge crown. So when you see those characteristics, you know that tree had no neighbors when it grew up. Zero. You look at those walnut trees next to it. They're tall, straight, skinny. They grew together. So there's a big difference between the two. The smaller bur oaks off to the right, and even this one out in the middle of the prairie planting, that's from that witness tree. We're going to walk through this prairie. I want to show you a spring run that dries up. And this is a prairie planting. This is not a relic that you're looking at. This was seeded. But it's a lot better than the old field that was here. But they weren't out here doing botanical surveys, but we use that data as a proxy. So what they were actually doing was describing the land for settlers. Was it suitable for agriculture? Those kinds of things. What kind of trees there were? What was the timber resource? And I was taught by archaeologists in St. Louis how to read the General Land Office surveyor's field notes. And I poured through thousands of these pages, and I did some publications and whatnot. What's cool about this one is it's a living witness tree from the General Land Office surveyor's notes. These are extremely rare. I knew about this tree. Yeah, I looked at it on aerial photographs. I would measure from the section corner using their measuring tool. It was always off. And I knew those aerial photographs were distorted. They weren't properly geo-referenced. So this week on, I think it was Wednesday, or maybe it was Tuesday, I had help, and we measured from the section corner, which is a blue flag. It might be hard to see, but it's just past that walnut planting. And we can walk over there if you want. But it's monumented with a pin. So we know that's a hard surveyed corner. I'm going to pass around this plat of survey so you guys can all look at it. I marked with a dot on this plat map. This was drawn in 1837. It shows Boone Creek very faintly meandering through, but that's the corner that is of interest to us with this tree. So it's right there, and it's monumenting 4 sections. Now at the time, the surveyor, this was in 1837, was instructed to monument a corner with 4 witness trees if they were available. So from that corner, the surveyors found 3. Okay, one of the sections didn't have a tree within close distance. So the question is, how far did they go to get these trees? So from that section corner with the blue flag. You probably can't see it. The surveyor wrote in the notes, post cornered sections 1, 2, 11, and 12. Those are the 4 sections on that map, from which a furrow 12 inches bears south 2 degrees west, 520 links.
12 inches.
12 inches is what that tree was.
When he did it in 18
So
what?
12-inch diameter?
37.
12-inch diameter.
Wow.
So we measured with a measuring tape from that blue, that section corner, all the way to here, 2 degrees, and it ended up inside that tree.
Wow, that's
It was,
awesome.
it was amazing. So this is
You had a
truly-
da moment.
Oh, I was so happy.
Was this week you did it?
It was on Tuesday.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that verifies that this truly is a living witness tree, and you just don't find them on the landscape. And look at the tree.